My name is Kovenant Liby. I am on the business development team at the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. We are kind of, I hate to say this, we're kind of like salespeople for the state of Indiana. So when we're in front of company representatives from, let's say, some corporation out of California, we're talking about what's great about the state of Indiana. So obviously, we're helping them with a site search. They want to find like properties or buildings or something that fit their parameters, what they're looking for. We also want to brag about the workforce here. We brag about university partnerships like with Indiana University, Purdue University, Rose-Hulman. Ivy Tech Community College is something we brag about a lot because they do a ton of workforce training programs that can be really customized easily by the manufacturers. So we talk a lot about workforce and training and state support for quality of life. There aren't a lot of states out there that are making investments in quality of place like Indiana is. So basically, we want to give these businesses the whole picture of what's great about Indiana. And then if they're interested and they want to come and see the site and they want to tour a community, we set up all of that. So just last week, for example, I was hosting a company from another state and kind of showing them around the community, and we bring in the locals. So there's a local economic developer. Sometimes the mayor wants to come, local elected officials, the property owner, the one who's selling the property, and we all come, and we bring also utility partners, gas, electric, wastewater, whatever, to come and talk about the site features. And we basically spend an afternoon with the company kind of showing them around and giving them an idea of what it would be like to build, for example, a manufacturing plant in whatever county it is or whatever town it is. And so it's really fun. My favorite part of my job is the travel. So I mostly work from home. I would say probably 3 or 4 days a week, I get to work from home because I'm technically a field officer. I would say 1 or 2 days a week, I'm on the road and I'm in another county. So maybe it's an hour drive or even a 2-hour drive sometimes. And I'm spending the day in another community with their local elected officials and company representatives. And I really enjoy that. I always like to go out to lunch somewhere local and have the local team kind of drive me around and show me what's great about their place. I grew up in Rochester, Indiana, in Fulton County, which is a small town in a rural area. And I went to the local public high school. I really loved my Spanish language classes. We didn't have a lot of like international engagement opportunities. It was a really small school and we didn't have a lot of funding. So I just took Spanish and I really liked it. I couldn't afford to go on any of the trips, but I always thought they sounded really cool. And when I was younger, I had been really interested in archaeology, especially like in the Middle East. And I kind of, I don't know, dreamed a little bit about being like some kind of Indiana Jones, like Egyptologist maybe, or something like that. But anyway, I kind of changed paths and thought, well, maybe I'd like to work in a museum or something like that. And then I don't know, as you get older, you kind of refine and refine and refine the vision. Also, too, as you just discover what types of jobs are out there. And I think for me as a young person, like in high school, I knew that I liked school and that I was good at studying and I was good at tests, and I really liked foreign languages, and I read a lot of books about other countries and things like that. So I thought I'd like to study a foreign language and maybe something new and challenging. But I really wasn't sure what it all connected with or like what the end goal was, other than just I liked to study and I liked foreign languages. So when I applied to IU and went there, I think it was during like, your first semester when you're signing up for classes, I had to take a foreign language and I wanted to try something different from Spanish. And I think it was kind of sheer luck. Whoever it was that was helping me sign up for classes was like, I was like, do you have any advice? I want to sign up for something really different. And he was like, well, I've heard we have a really good Arabic language program. So maybe that. And I was like, okay. So I just signed up. Basically from day one, I was like, wow, I gotta learn this language. It was one of those things where you have kind of like a magnetic experience where you feel challenged and like in too deep maybe, and like, oh gosh, what have I signed up for? But I loved it. So I stayed in Arabic class, made a lot of amazing friends. I loved the faculty and staff in that program. And then also there were some amazing opportunities to study abroad. IU had the Arabic flagship program. And so through that, I got to live and study in Morocco for a year, which was really an amazing experience. I just loved studying Arabic, and I wasn't still at that time, I wasn't sure what career it necessarily connected with. And I didn't know if there was anything I could do with foreign language in Indiana. I think that was the biggest like concern for me is like, wow, I really love this language. What am I going to do with it? And how am I going to stay close to the family and friends that I love so much? Like, do I need to find a job in Washington, D.C. in order to have this language be a part of my life? And I don't think that that's true anymore, obviously. Here's the story of how my foreign language ability benefited me in my career. So at that time, I was still tutoring, just freelance, offering Arabic like teaching lessons, basically. And so I was still keeping it pretty sharp. I can still speak and read Arabic fluently. And so I feel comfortable saying that I feel comfortable listing that on my resume that if you needed me to in a professional setting, I could speak Arabic or translate. In my job negotiations, there was a moment where they had offered me a number and I wasn't happy with it. And I had a higher offer from a consulting firm, but I didn't really want to work for the consulting firm. I wanted the state job. The work seemed more meaningful and the team seemed more positive. And I just had a better feeling about this opportunity. And so I slept on it and I was like, what do I need to do to get the next jump? Like they're offering me this number and I want 5,000 more to feel good about this offer and accepting it. And I literally slept on it and I had a dream that I had a dream where I was looking at the job listing and there was a section that was highlighted to me, like literally in my dream where it said like bonus, basically if you have international experience or what, or, you know, something like that. And so I woke up the next day and I was like, I know what to say to the recruiting team. And I reached out to them and I was like, I'd like to discuss my international experience with you. I feel like this can be a real asset. And I feel like this puts me into the next basically salary bracket. So I made my case. They believed me, I was able to share like writing samples and I even had some like a video of an interview I had done in Morocco where I'm speaking Arabic.
أنا سميتي كوفننت وأنا طالبة في واحد البرنامج ديال تعليم الدارجة والفصحى العربية في مكناس والتجربة اليوم كانت زوينة بزاف عجبتني الماكلة اللي صاوبوا العيالات من الجمعية والتعاونية.
So I shared some of that and they were like, yeah, absolutely. Like that experience is super valuable. And so they gave me the increased salary offer that I was hoping for and I accepted it. So to date, I have not used Arabic in my job. However, like I said, that could change at any time. So right now there are a few Saudi companies that invest in Indiana. There's probably a few Jordanian companies and different things like that. I'm not sure where the big pockets are, but mostly they're like petroleum oil type of companies. I have Arabic in my back pocket. I can still speak and write it, and it definitely helped me to get the job that I have and get the salary that I have. But I haven't had the opportunity to use it in my work. So I'm holding on to that skill and I'm keeping it sharp, but looking forward to the time when it becomes a real asset in my job. And in the meantime, I'm really loving the job that I was able to get with it. It gets you comfortable with failing and kind of being embarrassed and just not caring. So I don't know, you just get a thicker skin socially. So I feel like even if I haven't spoken Arabic on the job, studying a foreign language and being comfortable making mistakes and being comfortable taking risks has made me a better professional than I might have been otherwise. I feel like I'm very confident and very bold. And maybe I already had a few of those tendencies naturally, and maybe that's why I was comfortable taking a foreign language to begin with. But I certainly think that 4 years in undergrad and a year in another country made me braver and made me a better communicator. In fact, I can think of so many times where I've been, let's say, in like a video call like this, and I'm hearing two other people communicate, and I can tell that the other person isn't getting the message, and they're not following the thread of conversation because the other person is using some kind of super annoying corporate jargon that nobody except people in that immediate circle would understand. And so then I'm like watching, like, okay, I can see that this person's speaking this language and this person's speaking another, and they're not understanding each other. And then I'll like interject and say something really simple to just like demystify what we're talking about. And then the light bulb goes off and the person's like, oh yeah, okay, now I'm following. So I think that studying a foreign language makes you aware of nuances in communication, and just makes you a better communicator overall. I would encourage anybody to take a foreign language, whatever the language is and whatever your reasons are for taking it, and whether or not it's directly related to your future career. I think there are so many opportunities to use a foreign language, but even if, let's say, hypothetically, you never used it, um, the friendships you'll make studying a foreign language are so special. I'm still very close friends with someone from my Arabic class, and actually with a handful of people from my Arabic class. I can think of at least five off the top of my head that I still keep tabs on regularly. So, and those friendships are so special. You take risks and you fail in front of other people and they catch you. And I feel like that's really special. It's difficult in adulthood to make deep friendships, but I think that studying foreign languages gives you that opportunity because people are being vulnerable with you when you're studying a foreign language together. So I think for the friendships alone, that's really important. For the personal development, again, just being comfortable failing and having to be brave and go out on a limb and try something and maybe say it the wrong way and having to laugh about it. I feel like it gave me a really good sense of humor. I have no trouble making entire boardrooms crack up now, and I think that I'm pretty good at that because of studying Arabic and being able to make jokes out of things when I mess up. So all of that I think has been really helpful. If I could encourage somebody, I would say, yeah, take a foreign language, stick with it. And if you like it, go really far with it. And then the other, I think I want to tag on another piece of advice, just because when I was a young person, I think I said this earlier, but I didn't know what careers were out there. I knew the basics, like when you're in high school, you're like, okay, well, there's bank tellers, there's like people who work at restaurants, like you can list off the obvious careers, but there are a lot of niche careers I wouldn't have known about, like in universities or in corporations or in governments or nonprofits or whatever. There's just so many careers out there. So I would encourage young people to do something I did, which is to network. And that sounds kind of stiff, but what it means is just to reach out to people that you know, maybe from your church or your parent, where your parents work, or friends' parents, anybody that you think really likes their job, and then talk to them and ask for their advice and their encouragement, and anyone that they could also connect you with, maybe in other careers or related careers. And then just kind of reach out, like the butterfly effect of tapping someone and then them connecting you to someone else and that person connecting you to someone else. That's how I got my job. I probably had coffee with 30 different people over 3 months, and that's how I found out about the job that I have now. So yes, study a foreign language, go as far as you can with it, but then when you don't know what opportunities are out there, network.